Hi, I'm Andi Eloise, and I am the narrator for Slinger by Rachel Schneider. I remember getting the email asking if I had the interest and availability for an upcoming fantasy romance. And as a newer narrator, my gut instinct was to just say, yes, of course, please hire me. And then I started looking into it, and I knew right away that it was a big deal, that it was a really exciting opportunity, and that the book itself was going to be juicy. And then I got the notice that they were casting me. They sent me the manuscript and I read it immediately. One, because I was interested in reading it just as a fan of that genre, and two, so that I could prep in order to record. And I finished that book in 2 sittings, which is pretty fast as far as prepping for myself goes. And I was breathless. I reached out to the author just to let her know that I was a fan of her work, that I loved this book, and that I could not wait to see what happened in book 2. And she responded and told me that when the company asked her who her dream narrator was, she said my name. I remember I have this encouragement journal that I keep. Anytime someone says something really striking or really encouraging or really generous, I write it down in this little journal that I keep in my booth. And so sometimes when imposter syndrome is raging or I'm just having a particularly challenging day, I'll go back and I'll reread things that people have said to me or commented or reviews that were sent to me, just to remind myself that I need to get out of my head. And that was one of those things that I wrote down. I initially recorded this book in December 2024 while I had pneumonia, and it was a challenge, but it was such an emotional experience to go through the ebb and flow of this story and the emotional highs and lows and the really vulnerable journey that these characters go on, particularly the female main character. I remember laughing a lot in that first record. I cried one time and one time only, and I remember wrapping that book, getting to say, thank you for listening to Slinger, written by Rachel Schneider, narrated by Andi Eloise, and all of the credits that come after that was such a remarkable moment for me. I felt like I had really accomplished something worth noticing. Then it became the first book that, for me, was up for pre-order, and that felt like such a big deal. And I was really excited to tell my friends about it. And that's where we're at now. I'm right in the middle of re-recording this book. It is such a wild ride, even this time around. This is my second time recording. It was my 4th time reading the book, because I prepped the book and then record the book. And then I re-prepped the book and I'm recording the book now. And I find myself kind of tightrope walking this line between really, really knowing this book and having it in my bones and in my body, and being in my head and comparing what I'm choosing to do now with the performance that I turned in 4 months ago. And it's quite the tightrope act, but in the last 4 months, I've grown as a narrator, and this book really is in me. And so hopefully my choices are stronger and more consistent, and the journey that my voice will take people on is a more exciting and thrilling one. It's rare to get to play an FMC who is both incredibly strong and genuinely vulnerable. She finds depths within herself that I think surprise her as a character and us as readers or consumers of the book. There are a lot of twists and turns, a lot of peaks and valleys, and honestly, a plot twist that I personally did not see coming. So for those of you new to this, for those of you coming back, I hope you enjoy the audiobook of Slinger. It was such an experience for me to record. I hope it's the same incredible experience for you to listen. Happy listening.